All right.
Welcome to Two Sweet Lambruscos with me, your host, Paulie Firm, little itty bitty teeny tiny Mitch Buchanan. Anything you want to talk about, Mitch?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Paulie. How's it going, man?
It's going good. Just did a bunch of schoolwork at school today.
Where are you going to school?
Syracuse.
Oh, good. Good. Yeah, work was tough today. Yeah. I had some weird Asian woman hit on me when I was on my lunch break at the Albertsons, and I'm really kind of worrying about the consequences of that, the blowback of that.
You should fuck her. Use her as your sugar mama.
No. I've given my life, my sex stuff to God.
Oh, I respect your decision.
No, you don't.
And I respect...
Okay, this is where it goes off the rails. Paulie Firm, Mitch Buchanan. That was funny. That was an unexpected usurp. I like that. So here we are. We did an episode on Thanksgiving, and I thought that it was a really good episode, so I'm trying to carry that momentum over to this episode.
Yeah.
As you can see, I have a little smorgasbord here. I have a paper I need to finish writing, and I'm not looking forward to it.
How many pages?
Do I have?
How many pages are ahead of you?
Well, there's no set number of pages, but, this kind of paper, this late in the year, with the topic, I'd say right now I'm at about, without the research and all the references, I'm at about 41 pages. So I gotta probably bang out 30, 40 more.
70-page paper.
Yeah. Well, actually, I misspoke. I'm sorry. It's that with the references. I'm sorry. So altogether, the academic paper will probably be 50, 60. But I have
pages of references?
Not just my research too.
You gotta tack on your research. Okay.
Sandra.
What did you say?
I don't even know why I just said that. I'm not even Irish. I hate Irish people.
You hate Irish people?
I hate Irish people that always drink to excess and think that they're these big hotshot drinkers. When really, they're just dudes that drink 3 fucking shots and piss their pants.
My dad was Irish and he could drink a lot.
And he also beat the shit out of him when he started crying.
Huh?
I said you also beat the shit out of him and he started crying.
I didn't beat the shit. I just punched him once.
And he started crying. That's getting the shit beat out of you. To the person it happened to.
Funny thing is, he's about your size.
And he couldn't take a punch from you.
I think it just hurt his feelings.
It's another poor, sad Irish drunk dude. Crying over everything.
Poor guy.
No.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. So, I want to talk about funny situations that have happened in this house.
Okay.
So, the first one I want to talk about is the floor pooper. Now,
floor pooper.
Yes, it's exactly what it sounds like.
I wish I met him.
No, you don't.
I would have liked the guy.
You would not have liked the guy.
He took his shit on the floor.
He didn't take a shit. He lost the shit on the floor.
That's not as...
No,
that's not as...
No, it's not as fucking... Not as badass.
No, if you just drop chow for, dominance reasons...
Right. Right. If you're coming in here with the intention of asserting dominance, and you pull down your pants and shit on the floor, then I would have to assert my dominance. It would have been a funny story. It would have been an epic story.
It would have been cool.
It was none of that. So, we're in the beginning of the lockdown. And the policy we had was, unless you're going to work or a doctor, you can't leave. We're stuck here. Which was great for me. Because I could just hang out in my room. I loved it. But, the residents get a little fucking stir crazy, Mm-hmm. So anyhow, the second day into it, this fucking dude's living here. He was living here at the time for maybe a month. I met him at the Garden Grove Club. And I was sponsoring him until he moved here. What?
That just made this story so long. Sponsorship.
Well, so I was sponsoring him, and then the house he was living at closed down. So he was like, "Oh, I moved to your house." I'm like, "Yeah, but you have to find a different sponsor." He was like, "Okay." So as he moves in, had this other guy sponsor him, whatever. And like the first 2 weeks, he's great. You know, he was like when I was sponsored, I liked the guy. You know, and he was always polite, always respectful. But you know, I think even in the beginning, some people couldn't handle the schematics of the quarantine. They were just overthinking shit and thinking that everyone was gonna die and that they were gonna die, and so
it was a stressful time.
No, it wasn't.
No,
it's the happiest I've been in years. For a lot of
people, it was very, very stressful.
Nobody I knew died. Nobody bothered me for a year. It was fucking great. It was great. I got back into school. I was fucking working on my master's degree. It was fucking great. Best thing that could have happened. Yeah. I got a shitload of money from Gatorade for not being able to work. It was awesome. I loved it. I'd do it all over again. Hope you have another one. The way I look at it, if you're going to die during a pandemic because you don't want to follow the rules, you deserve to die. If people don't learn a lesson from this, and medical professionals and public health officials, if they're telling you look, this is what you should do to stay safe, this gives you your best chance, and then they see this happens again, they say telling you the same shit again, and people are just flouting conventions and running around being idiots, you're gonna die, and I'm gonna laugh. Good. Too many people here anyway. Population control. So, this dude, the second day of the lockdown, we have a house meeting, and the dude just leaves. I went to take a shower or something, or no, wait, maybe I don't know what I was doing, but I left. I think I was hanging out with Dulcie, but anyway, he just leaves. So I get a text 10 minutes later from somebody at the house being like, "Hey, dude, Wyatt just left," and I'm like, "He left the house?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Did he say anything?" They're like, "No." So I hit him up, didn't respond. So 2 hours later, I get a text from Derek, and all it says is, "You probably shouldn't come out of your room right now." And I'm like, all right. Of course I come out, and I walk out down the hallway into the kitchen, and right as I go about to walk into the second living room, into the rear kitchen, there's a poop on the floor. And so I stopped.
You got to describe the poop.
It was just a fucking piece of poop. I'm not going to describe it. I'm not going to describe
little nugget.
The actual poop itself isn't what's important in the story.
Was it a turtle?
It was just a poop. It was just a poop. We're going to get there. So I look down at it, and I'm like, "Is that human poop?" And everybody is sitting on the couch looking at me. And because apparently this is what I was told.
Nobody cleaned up the poop?
Because I'm so funny, everybody, in me having to handle the situation, everybody's just dying laughing during this whole thing. And I'm like, guys, stop fucking laughing. So anyway, I look at the poop and I'm like, "Is that human poop?" And everyone on the couch, everyone out there's laughing except Wyatt. He's kind of sitting there whimpering. And I'm like, "Okay, clearly you did this." And he's like, "Well, why would you say that?" I'm like, "Come on, dude. You have a dead giveaway. You have a tell. Your poker face is fear." I'm like, "Did you poop on the floor?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Why didn't you pick it up?" I'm like, "Dude," I'm like, when you left, I'm like, "Did you go to the beach and get fucked by your boyfriend and then lose this on your way back to your room?" And he was just like,
was he the gay one?
Yeah. And he was just like, I'm like, "Okay, great. Dude. I'm like, look, nobody here cares that you're gay, but your boyfriend fucked the shit out of you. You need to come pick this up." He walks over, picks up the
raw
poop,
hand,
barehanded, picks up the piece of poop, walks to the bathroom, throws it in there, fucking goes like this to flush the toilet, and then looks over And I'm like, flush the fucking toilet. He flushes the toilet and just walks back out. Doesn't even wash his hands.
Oh.
I'm like, dude, go wash your hands. Get the fuck out. And fucking I had Derek and someone else strip his bed. And then, like, I noticed that there was still a little, like...
Of course, it splatted on the floor.
Yeah, but there was just a little, like a little...
yeah.
like a swipe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I fucking had him, like, fucking on his hands and knees cleaning the whole floor. I was like, oh, look, you can stay, but you have to clean the entire floor with bleach, blah, blah, blah. Had him clean the entire floor and then still throw him out.
Oh.
Okay, well, one, he broke the rules. He left during the fucking lockdown. So that's an automatic exit right there. He pooped on the floor. He picked it up with his bare hand. And like a cat, looked around before he fucking buried it. You know? And then he came out and he was just like... I was like, dude, something's wrong with you. You gotta go.
You didn't test him? He was probably on something.
I didn't need to test him. Why am I... I'm already going to throw him out. Why would I waste the test? I texted Ricky. I was like, just to let you know, one of our residents, I'm like the gay one, went out against fucking...
You said that to Ricky?
Yes, because that's what he called him. He never remember his name. And so I was like, one of the residents here, the gay one, left after I said, you know, leaving for doctors or work only. He doesn't have a job. It's Sunday. He's not going to the doctor. He went to the beach, got pounded by his boyfriend, and came home and a piece of poop fell out of his clothes.
How'd you know he went to the beach?
Because he told me. Like when I first asked him, he said no. When they texted me and said why it's leaving, he said why it's going to the beach. That's what it was. So anyway, I told Ricky, I'm like, yeah, first of all, he pooped on the floor when he got home. He didn't pick it up. I told him to pick it up. He scooped the poop up with his bare hand, dropped it in the toilet, looked around first, flushed it, and then didn't wash his hands. And Ricky was like, he's got to go. I'm like, yeah. He's like, what are you doing right now? I'm like, I'm having him scrub the floor with bleach. And he's like, he's doing that? I'm like, yeah, I told him he could stay if he did. And Ricky's like, well, that's effective. And that was it.
He didn't pick it up, though.
He did with his bare hand.
No, as soon as you drop the loose, dude, you gotta pick it up.
Yeah, you gotta pick it up. Yeah.
You can't just linger there.
Right. And then the manner in which he did when he was told to. I was like, what were you raised by fucking wolves? I'm like, what are you doing? It was disgusting.
I would have liked to meet the guy.
No, you wouldn't have. He slept in a nightshirt. In a hat and like a nightcap.
I would have really liked a nightcap.
And his nails were like every nail, like the pinky nail, was like a Coke nail. It was like this long, and the other ones were like shorter but sharp.
Oh, I don't like that.
He's like a fucking koala bear.
I don't like that. I hate it.
Yeah, it's
dudes
gross.
have long
And he would wear like rings.
And to accentuate his fucking disgusting hands.
Yeah, and he had this like really weird like not muscular but not fat, but his upper body was like way out of proportion for he's like top heavy. He had like weird skinny little legs and his upper body was like, it was weird, dude. And then so he'd sleep in the nightshirt. So I'd come out of my room at like 2 a.m. to get some water, and he'd be in the kitchen like eating cereal with its nightshirt on with like a horse on it and like a cap, and he'd just be...
He sounds like a cartoon.
Right. He dressed like an Ebenezer Scrooge. He slept like Ebenezer. Isn't that what he was... That's
what they used to say.
Yeah, he's a nightshirt, yeah. And he like in the socks. He had this
with the cap, though.
He put the cap on when he come out at night.
One of those like Santa-ass fucking... Oh god!
Yeah, the first time I saw that, he'd lived here for like 3 days. I'm like, what is this? He's like, oh, we're having cereals and we're being allowed. I'm like, what are you wearing? And he's like, my pajamas. And just kept eating his cereal. And I'm like, this is fucking weird. And it just got progressively weirder after that.
Yeah, I would have loved to meet the guy. He sounds super chaotic.
And that's the thing. It was a very like mild, contained chaos.
That's the best kind.
Yeah, no, it's not. That kind of chaos fucking scoops up poop with their bare hand.
That was more uncontained chaos.
Yeah, I don't know. So then I literally
uncontained chaos.
A week before that happened, he was standing
He
outside.
failed to contain his chaos.
He was standing outside at like, I don't know. I think it was like 10:30 at night, and I was coming out through the kitchen, going into the real living room, and I just saw him because the outside light was on. He was standing there, like looking up at the sun or looking up at the sky. I mean, and then he just fucking like right into a perfect like crisscross applesauce, and he's just sitting on the concrete, like looking around. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I would have loved to meet that guy.
I wanted to like, if I had more faith in like a stealth ability, I would have sprayed him with the hose. But there was just no way I was pulling that off. He was sitting right next to it, you know.
He was just enjoying the night, enjoying the sky, man.
Yeah, but just to drop crisscross applesauce like out of nowhere. Like, I don't mind stargazing. Stargazing's fine. I don't care.
He was probably thinking about sitting down for a little while.
See, this is why I knew this was going to be a difficult thing to talk about you with, because, like, all this shit that I'm saying, no one else would be like, oh, maybe he's just doing this. Like, no, that's fucking weird.
I'm not saying it's not
It's
weird.
fucking weird, dude. Stop trying to make it normal or justify it. like once. That's why I led with the poop story. Like, this is that same guy. This is weird behavior. It's a weird pattern of fucked up weird behavior.
I used to do shit like that.
Right. This dude was sober, though. It's fucking weird. You never done any of that sober. If you did any of that while you were living here, I would have thrown you out. I would have been like, I know what this is. This is a Wyatt situation. This dude's a floor pooper. Get him out.
What about the time you walked in on me in the garage while I was, sitting...
That you just needed a reminder. Like, you were actually doing something that you've been working on for a while, and I know that you were just getting comfortable, and you were too afraid to use this cheap, beat-up desk.
Well, the tools that I were using could damage it.
Oh, fucking who cares? You know how much I paid for this table?
$100.
No. Like 25.
25? You got it on sale? I looked at this thing online.
I got it in the warehouse.
Oh.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean much.
It means that they were shipping it and the box opened.
Oh.
And so they put it back brand new, and it was on a markdown.
Ah.
Yeah. And then Dawn came over and built it in like an hour. Yeah. I don't know, dude. I have like weird fucking luck with shit like that. You know? I'm not even the kind of person, like, I won't spend more than 5 minutes at a time on Amazon. Like, some people are like, oh, I gotta find this deal. They'll just go down a rat hole. They'll be on there for hours and hours and hours. And, like, there's no fault of theirs. Like, it's easy to get trapped in a rat hole when you're really trying to find a deal. These things just fall on my fucking lap. I typed in the bar, and I accidentally, like, I clicked on something before that, and it was the search bar, you know, where it says, like, the department you want to look in? It stayed on warehouse. And I just typed L-shaped table. Boom. Markdown. $25. Open box. I'm like, done.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't fucking give a shit, dude. You know? Like, eventually when I leave, I'm going to have to either get rid of it or I'm not going to bring it with me. It's just too much. It's too much table.
It's a lot of table.
It's just that luckily out here I have the luxury of a garage.
But you could break it down into less table.
I could, but I don't want to. I'd just assume, like, see if any of the houses need it or just sell it. If I sold this thing as is, I could probably get $50 for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, easy.
People like this type of shit.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do about that, though. I can't sell it. I have nowhere to put it, though.
And you can't throw it away.
Can't throw it away. I wouldn't, though. That's great. That's fucking awesome.
You should.
Only way I can get rid of it is if she breaks up with me. And let's hope by that point when she does, because she will, that, you know, it's not, like, up on a wall or, like, because I'm not going to want to even look at it anymore. I'm like, fuck this thing, you know?
Or you could just build a desk out of it.
It's easy for me to, like, get over relationships and shit. That's not the thing. But, like, having to look at that would end up ruining Elliott Smith for me. I don't want that to happen.
Who the fuck's Elliott Smith?
He's a singer. Was a singer. He died in 2004.
He's the guy that painted that?
No, Dulcie painted that, dipshit. Remember she wanted to cut your balls off? I sent her the picture of you standing in there with the drill.
I thought one of her friends...
No, why would she give a shit then? No, she did that. She paints all sorts of stuff. She's painting me that right now for Christmas.
The Superman thing?
Not that poster, but that logo. The Superman. Yeah, that logo, yeah. And then she's going to put the Superman S underneath it and write out Seinfeld.
That's going to be pretty cool.
That's going to be fucking really cool. So let's hope I can just hang on to her till that's done and then...
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kidding. She's awesome. All right, so we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about another fun moment here with a guy named Pig Snout. And my buddy Don that you met, this is his favorite story to tell. So it's going to be fun. We'll be right back. See that video? 20 minutes.